So last week I was meeting with Coach Paula Staffield, and she shared an understanding that I feel like gave me a lot of clarity. Whenever that happens, I'm not going to keep it a secret. I'm going to share it with you because I want more people to get unstuck. And this understanding can help you get unstuck, because it's an understanding of how we can improve, how we can be great at something. And she shared with me that you only need two ingredients to become really great at something. I'm going to share those ingredients in this video. But if you are feeling stuck, if you have these imposter syndrome thoughts, this insecure thinking that is getting in your way, that you want to express yourself, you want to become better, you know that you should be practicing or going towards this, moving towards what you really want to move towards. You're passionate about this. You really care. You want to make a difference in the world. But these thoughts are getting in your way. This understanding is going to help. My name is Rich Life, and I coach leaders with imposter syndrome. I help them drop imposter syndrome so that they can realize their impact journey. An impact journey is something that you can express yourself fully. You can make a difference in the world. In this space that you found, this is the Rich Life Realization Podcast. It's a space where we explore the richness of life, where we find the life that's underneath the surface of our own tangled thoughts, this presence, this beauty that's all around us. Today, we're going to be talking about the two ingredients that you need in order to become great. Those two ingredients that Paula shared with me. I'm going to call them something different, but she said originally that it was competence. I'll keep that one. Competence and grounding. That you need two ingredients, competence and grounding. So competence is the knowledge and the skill that you need to improve. It is, once you have it, it's kind of like the surgeon who practices and has all of this body knowledge, but also has the skill with the scalpel, that knows what to do. That is competence. Clarity. She called it grounding. I'm going to call it clarity. Clarity is an absence of judgmental thinking. That's it. Clarity is an absence of judgmental thinking. So it is the absence of the imposter syndrome. It is the fearful thoughts, the who am I kind of thoughts. When we don't have that, we tend to operate pretty well. And so what I had this spark of this insight, and I put it into this box, and I want to share this box with you. So we have competence on the top, the y-axis, the vertical axis. We have clarity on the horizontal axis. So you have less competence as you go down and more competence as you go up on this vertical axis. and you have less competence as you go closer to the center, and then more competence as you go over to the right. Okay, so this is, and I've kind of created 4 quadrants, where this quadrant here in the bottom corner is there's no competence and there's no clarity. Then we have a square with you have competence, but you don't have clarity. We have 2 more squares that you have clarity, but no competence. And then the 4th square is you have both. You have clarity and competence. We're going to go through these 4 different squares and pay attention, because if you understand this, you're going to be able to improve. You're going to know when you're in the different squares. It's going to help you realize when you should drop some of that thinking and just practice, or maybe you already have competence. So let's dive into this. So when you have less competence and less clarity, that's the bottom corner square, you're stuck. You aren't very good yet. You kind of suck at whatever it is you're trying to do. And it's a problem that you suck. You're like, why can't I do this? I'm not good enough. This is terrible. And there's a lot of self-judgment, a lot of fearful thinking. You really are not going to be able to improve from here. You give up, you throw in the towel. You're not going to continue to put energy into this because it doesn't feel good. It hurts. You're really hurting yourself by the way that you're thinking about it. So that's the bottom square. When you have no competence, no clarity, you're not going to go anywhere. Now, what happens when you actually have competence, but no clarity? You still have judgmental thinking. You might be good at something. And is this you? That you're really good at something and people tell you all the time, oh, you're such an amazing singer. Why don't you sing more? And you just are like, oh, I'm not very good. I suck at singing. Nobody wants to hear that. Guess what? You have competence, but no clarity. And you're not going to be able to express yourself. You're not going to be able to continue to improve if you're in this square. And you're going to limit the amount of time that you spend sharing your gift with the world. You're awesome at it. You have the knowledge, you have the skill, but you might not believe in yourself. So you're stuck if you're in this no clarity space, even if you are amazing at it, even if you have the competence. Let's take a look at the other side. So if you have clarity but no competence, you suck at something, but it's not a big deal. You're just like, well, yeah, I suck at this. I haven't practiced yet. I haven't put a lot of effort into it. It doesn't make sense to get down on yourself and judge yourself and think that, oh, I'm not good enough. And do you know what you do from here? Well, you practice. You do what it is that you want to do. If you want to become a better singer, you sing. If you want to become a more influential speaker, then you speak. You do podcasts. Oh, that's kind of like what you're doing, Rich. Yeah, I'm doing a whole bunch of these because I want to improve and I want to have clarity around it. So that's cool. That is the space where you can start to make that incremental improvements. And when you're in this square, the square of clarity, no competence, you just add time and you're going to get competence. You're going to get better. Let's see what happens when you have clarity and competence. You're in this top square. Well, that is flow. That is what some of the athletes might call it the zone, where you are just in the experience of expressing yourself and expressing your abilities. It feels amazing. It feels great. You don't have any insecure thinking weighing you down. You are just present in the experience of this expression. And it's beautiful. It's so incredible. People love to see this. They love to see people who have competence and clarity do what they do. It's incredible. And it's magic. You can express yourself. You can be amazing. So when we find ourselves, and kind of the interesting thing is, we're going to find ourselves somewhere in this from day to day, somewhere here. Now, to move from less competence to more competence, it takes time. It's going to be practice. It's going to be a slow and a gradual change. Like if you haven't practiced in a while, you might be a little bit rusty. You might go back down, but it's not going to move around very much. It's going to steadily improve, or you might get stuck. But the thing about clarity, it's going to come and go. You, based on the thinking of the moment, it is going to change. And that is the one that's the easiest to address because you're going to take time with the other piece, but having clarity and moving from clarity to no clarity, it can happen much more quickly. And we experience that we sometimes are feeling great. We're like, oh, I'm doing my activity, I'm singing or I'm speaking and I'm feeling great. And then 20 minutes later, ugh, you're judging yourself. Why am I even doing this? So that's why I want to address this. That's why with my clients, I don't want them to, I'm not going to teach them the techniques or or tell them you need to now go get competence, because I know that once they're in clarity, getting competence is easy. It's getting that clarity that helps you and moving from less clarity to more clarity. It's just a subtraction of that insecure thinking, that judgmental thinking, that fearful thinking. And I'll end the video with a kind of a tip on how to have less of that, how to have more clarity in your life and less of the insecure thinking. And one of the easiest ways to do that is actually to have just less thinking in general. The slower that your mind is going, the more clarity that you're going to have. You kind of take your foot off the gas, and there's not going to be a technique or a strategy that is going to help you do that, because it is a releasing back instead of an action. It's not an action. And you might figure out a way that really makes sense for you, that helps you quiet your mind and settle your mind. Because when you have a settled mind, you have clarity, you have less judgment, and it's easy to get more competence from that space. And then all you have to do is just drop the current thinking that you have right now. Whatever thoughts that are going on in your mind, whenever you have less clarity and it's kind of, it's kind of jumbled up in your head, that's actually an opportunity, because clarity is a single thought away. And if you can find that one thought, it's not going to come from your intellect. It's going to come from within, from the space of your authentic self. And all you have to do is be open to it. If you can find that thought, clarity comes naturally. You don't have to work at it. And that is a part of the magic of how we're made. It's amazing. And if you can see that, and if you can understand that, you can get yourself unstuck. It's not, it's not as hard as you think it has to be. When you realize that, you have clarity, and competence is going to come along with whatever you want to put your heart and your soul into, because you have something amazing within you. I know you do. I know you have something spectacular that you can share with the world. May you find clarity so that it is easy to share. This has been the Rich Life Realization Podcast. I don't ask for a lot. I'm not going to ever put any advertisements on this or sponsorships on this. But what I would like you to do is to share this with somebody who you think would really benefit from it, who you think that they're amazing and they have something within them that can change the world. And would you mind sharing it with them? Because I want to impact the most people I can. I'm on my impact journey, and I want to share this. I want to make it available to more and more people. And the only way that I can do that is if you share it, is if you make it something that you find important and that you tell someone, hey, check this out. It's really cool. So thank you. I so appreciate you. I so appreciate that you're listening to this, that you're taking the time. You are You're awesome. And know it in your heart. Like, know it right here. And may you have wonderful, wonderful rest of your day. Thank you.